I hope that was okay.
Yeah, that was okay, Kelvin. But we're with Ethan and Justin and Kelvin.
You want me to do it over?
Y- Well, I definitely want you to stop now, Kelvin.
Fine,
Okay,
because you asked so nicely.
thank you, Kelvin.
You're
So,
welcome.
so Justin, today's topic is inventions that.
Justin, where's Justin at? This is Kelvin.
Well, just okay. So I guess Justin's not there, so we got Kelvin instead of Justin today. He's filling in.
He
Kelvin,
walked out.
he did. So, Kelvin, today's topic is inventions that were mind blowing inventions at the time that we take for granted today.
All right, sort of like the shoe rack or the umbrella.
I guess, yeah, the shoe rack could be good. Well, you think about like a spoon, right? That's a great invention that we take for granted
I
because,
never even used a spoon until I was 10.
well, then how did you drink soup? Like hot soup? Did you
I
just use your
didn't,
hands?
I didn't, yeah, we would use our hand to like, God,
Kelvin?
and that was weird because now I was starting to sound like one of those Beach Boys. All right, I'm back. So we would eat soup uh by dipping our hand in, kind of like how the Indians do that, and then holding it up and letting it drip off of our fingers and into our mouths. And
Yeah.
that's how I ate soup.
So you were 10 years old when you had your first spoon?
My dad brought one home from work.
So your dad was using the spoon the entire time for like at work.
No, I mean, they didn't have spoons, but then they had a spoon, but there weren't enough for him to bring home. But he snuck one out of there and said, "Hey, family, gather around. There's a spoon for everyone to now use." And I said, "Dad, what is that?" And he said, "Now you can eat your soup in a better way." So I tried it, and it was better.
Well, how do you eat Jello cups or whatever's pudding?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, Kelvin, that's
I ate soup and I ate oatmeal, but without any water or milk, just the oats that you heat up and then you just eat those. But you got to remember that unlike a lot of people, and this is stuff that you take for granted, grew up in a house without electricity. And I grew up in a house without plumbing. So all the stuff in there, I didn't even know what it was for.
yeah. Well, now that you mention it, that's interesting because I feel like as a society we take toilets for granted. Where imagine you're the kid who went to like someone else's house and you saw someone had a toilet installed when you didn't, and you had to use an outhouse where you know you this, your fecal matter goes to the ground and it definitely doesn't smell great, and you have to go outside of your house to use the bathroom.
That's what I had to do every night. I
Yeah,
mean, you probably can't even imagine it, but see, that's how you grow up when you live in the Kleft household. My dad was gone for years at a time, and my mom was on meth.
yeah. So that's interesting. So when did you first encounter your first toilet? Like, what was that like?
Uh, I was about 15, and they finally said, I mean, like, you're gonna have to go to school. I hadn't been the entire time, so I showed up, and I did know what marijuana was. Thank you. And so I wanted to find a good place to go smoke a joint. And I saw all these kids going into a bathroom, and I said, "This looks good." And I got in, And I said, so let's all smoke. And they said, all right, you go ahead. I'm just going to go pee. And when they went, I said, what are you even doing? Isn't there an outhouse for that? And they said, what are you? Who are you? Where are you? When are you? And why are you? How are you? You know,
I do. So you saw someone use like the urinal or use a toilet,
at school.
right? And
And
so
then
your mind was blown with the ability to go to the bathroom and not have to go outside.
I thought about it the whole rest of the day. Sat through class thinking about, and I asked the kids, what is that called? And they said, a toilet, dum dum. So I asked my teacher, what's a toilet, dum dum? Can I learn the history of the toilet, dum dum? He didn't know
Yeah.
what that was.
But did your teacher give you a lecture on it or just explain it to you quickly?
He explained what a toilet was. So I went home and I said to my grandma at the time, hey, grandma, can we get a working toilet? Either a working toilet or can you start to pay for the plumbing around here? Because I'm really not smelling so good taking baths in the pond.
Right. You had no plumbing, so I guess you couldn't.
No plumbing.
Yeah, so you had a pond where you took a bath
And
in
where
the house.
I also washed my clothes.
Yeah, that's tough. So you had to like manually like dry your clothes like by pressing them and everything like they used to do back in the day.
I hung them out on a line.
Yeah, well, the thing is you put the clothes in the water and the soap and then you have to like squeeze that stuff
I
out
don't even know
manually.
what soap is. We couldn't afford soap. Are you kidding?
Well, why didn't you just steal the soap from the school?
I didn't know I even needed it. I thought that all these kids were smelling better than me because they were eating better than me. Because I wasn't eating enough and I was constantly hungry.
Oh, I mean, that's tragic, Kelvin. Uh,
It is.
so was there anything else you discovered at school for the first time you went there?
I asked my grandma, could we get working plumbing for this Christmas? Kind of like how you maybe asked your mom for a Nintendo 64 after you saw it at your friends. I asked my mom for working plumbing. And she said, we'll have to see what Santa brings you this year. Guess what? Big surprise. I didn't get it.
Well, what did you get?
Um, I think that year I got a dog turd that somebody found outside on the sidewalk and half a joint that my dad brought home from work.
Sounds like a pretty not the best Christmas.
Well, yeah, I didn't have a Christmas like you.
Well, okay, but why didn't you just you go to school and use the bathroom at school or go to the park and use the bathroom at the park or
I,
somewhere?
I didn't know that there would be one in the park. And well, I did use it at school, but yeah, every time I have to go pee, I'm just gonna like get up and walk over to school and use it and then come back home. I lived 20 minutes away.
Yeah, well, I don't think you have to you're you could just pee in the bushes. I don't think peeing is the big issue.
Well, and that's what I did. And I pooped in the bushes too.
Dang. So you didn't use the outhouse the entire time. You were just
No,
sometimes.
I mean, it got backed up. That happens when you have an outhouse that no one maintains. It gets backed up in there. So then we started to use the bushes, and then the bushes got backed up. And then my dad brought home trash bags from work. And so we used trash bags, but then they got backed up. And then I asked, can we just have working plumbing? Dad, you're working a job, and yeah, you're gone a lot of the time, but why don't we just pay for working plumbing instead of you just paying for drugs? And he said I was out of my mind. So you tell me what anyone is supposed to do.
Yeah, that's tough. So, okay, wait, let's go back. So you had a toilet in your house and a shower, but you just never knew what they were for? Like you just because you never like no one explained
Well,
to you
I knew what they were for after I saw it at school.
when you were 15.
Right. The whole
Yeah.
time before that, I was using the water in that toilet, excuse me, to wash my face.
Well, I guess you could use it for that if you're not using it for anything else. Wait, but if there's no plumbing, why would there be water in the toilet? Why wouldn't it just be a like a waterless toilet?
At one point, there was plumbing, and so the water was in there from that time, but it wouldn't, I never flushed it. So I would splash the water on my face, maybe dunk my head in, and that's how I got ready for school. And then,
You didn't go to school though.
no, this was after I was 15.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to go to school early and then maybe use the sink to wash your face?
No one ever taught me how to do that. No one ever uh, gave me an instruction manual like maybe you got for Christmas. I never got that from Santa.
Okay,
I was never taught by Santa how to take a bath like you were.
so what did your parents and your grandparents do when they because they must have grown up with indoor plumbing themselves and they just decided to deprive you of it and never teach you how to use it?
Well, drugs were more important.
Yeah,
Getting high was important for my mom. And
that's
my dad loved getting high so much that he disappeared for years at a time. And my grandfather loved crack, and my grandmother loved coke.
yeah. So you knew all about that stuff, but you had no idea how to use.
I sold
Well,
it.
so if you had no plumbing, you couldn't like wash the dishes or anything like that. So did you just use disposable?
Dishes? Who's using dishes? We used our hands. We used our laps for food.
So,
Or like, you know, my mom or grandmom would say, Kelvin, come on over here and get down on your hands and knees, but keep your back straight. I'm going to put my food on your back and eat it off.
dang.
Or we just eat off the floor. I mean, maybe that's something that you never did. But see, that's something that Santa never brought for me. How to use a plate, where to get a plate, what kind of plates there are. I never got that book from Santa. Maybe you did. I didn't.
Yeah, I think Santa has, he managed to teach me a lot of basic things that I need to know, and I
Well,
guess he didn't teach you.
that's great for you. I didn't have that growing up.
So why do you even have a house if you're not gonna, have water in it, or do you have electricity?
I don't even know what that is. What
Well,
what what's electicery?
electricity.
Electricity. Is
It's
that what powers things like I mean I've seen it at school. I've seen it powering things up like lights, but we never had lights. When I was growing up, are you kidding? We didn't have lights. My parents entertained themselves with drugs. My grandparents entertained themselves with drugs. I entertained myself by escaping into my own mind.
Well,
I didn't have lights, couldn't see when the sun went down. And now maybe that's something that you got for Christmas. Santa got you a new light for your bedroom. Santa got you the brand new video game of the year. I never got that.
yeah, it seems like you've lived a very difficult and interesting life. I was just surprised how sheltered you were. Like, you never went to like a friend's house when you were like 4 years old, five, like as a kid, to witness a bathroom and lights and plates, any of that type of stuff.
I didn't get along with the kids in my neighborhood. I didn't go to school. I basically grew up, uh, you know, basically watching dogs fight to the death and various animals kill each other, and how to pack a pipe of meth for my mom.
Wow.
How did you grow up? Oh, probably all fancy schmancy. Big
Yeah.
surprise. Big surprise.
Well, hey, I'm sorry I was more privileged than you were as
I
a
don't
kid.
think I don't think you are.
No, I'm really not. Like, you know, no, I'm not. But Kelvin, so you discovered toilets for the first time. You discovered plates. You just discovered well, you never discovered electricity, I guess. Do you think you're really missing out? Where you could just be going out there and experiencing conveniences for the first time.
Um, I don't know. I think I'm tired. I'm tired of you.
Okay,
I'm tired of wherever we are. How is all this being powered? Is this that electicery?
it
I
is.
don't I don't know what there is around here. And it doesn't matter because I know of a few different things. Number one, my mind is a scary yet amazing place, and I can go into it anytime I want. And meth and heroin and crack are fun.
Well, there you go,
And
ladies and gentlemen.
you don't need a toilet. You don't need electricity. You don't need a plate. And you don't need Santa. Maybe you think you do, but you really don't. And you can go get perfectly good cigarettes on the ground, finding butts all over town and smoking those for free. Why would I go buy and waste my money on a fresh new pack when you have all those butts on the ground?
Good point. You might as well just get it for free, I guess, even if it's someone else used it.
I
And
get everything for free. I get everything for free.
ladies and gentlemen, that's Kelvin Kleft, the great Kelvin Kleft. Anything else you want to say, Kelvin?
Plumbing costs money.
Yes, it does, Kelvin. Yes, it does. All right. This is Ethan and Justin with our replacement Kelvin. And yeah, that's it for now.